back after being on the canvas twice here in the 10th. Unbelievable. Castillo's in trouble. Weak steps in, and the fight is over. Unbelievable.
With that stunning come-from-behind victory over Jose Luis Castillo, Diego Corrales capped a series of great wins and emerged a boxing hero. Since then, his career has taken a series of unexpected twists and ironic turns.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Luis Castillo over the 135-pound limit.
Frustrated but undeterred, Corrales agreed to fight.
Oh, and down goes Corrales. Hey.
It was a decision he lived to regret.
Jose Luis Castillo's weight, 140 pounds.
Again, Castillo could not make the 135-pound weight limit. But this time, an angry, bitter, and frustrated Corrales canceled the fight.
It's ridiculous. He's not going through anything that I haven't went through to make this weight. Complete disrespect.
Ironically, this time it was Corrales who failed on the scale.
139.5.
And then failed to win a decision in the ring.
Yeah, you've seen the end of me at 135, and as of right now, it's time to go home. It's time for you've seen the end of me, period.
Now, Diego Corrales has decided to continue his career. Can this former champion overcome his setbacks and rise to the challenge one more time? Far from the bright lights of Las Vegas, Atlantic City, or New York, three-time world champion Diego Corrales comes to a career crossroad. This is the cozy, sold-out Shrine Mosque in the Queen City of the Ozarks, Springfield, Missouri, where one of the most courageous fighters ever will confront a new and formidable challenge. It's fight night in the Show Me State. In the spotlight this evening, he's arguably boxing's ultimate warrior. But tonight, it could be his ultimate test. Former junior lightweight and lightweight titleist Diego Chico Corrales jumps 2 weight classes, or 12 pounds, as he makes his welterweight debut against underrated yet dangerous Joshua Clottey. Yes, it has the elements of an entertaining affair, and it's straight ahead on Showtime Championship Boxing, America's Fight Night. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert from Springfield, Missouri. Well, Diego Corrales is one of the most compelling fighters of this era. Inside and outside the ring, he's provided thrill after thrill and a steady dose of drama. Now, as he approaches the twilight of his career, there's not only drama, but desperation too. But whenever looking thoroughly beaten, Corrales has always fought on. There's no reason to think that will change. Tonight, as he invades a new division and does so with a new trainer, the question must be asked, will Corrales' indomitable spirit be enough to sustain his success? And with that, let me bring on my ringside partner, Al Burson. And Al, after 2 straight losses, tonight's fight will define the remainder of Corrales' career, maybe even his legacy.
You know, whatever context you put this fight in, there's one thing we know. It has huge implications for Diego Corrales. He needs a win very, very badly. But then again, he's all about overcoming obstacles in his career. In his 11-year pro career, he has faced a number of challenges. His last 6 matches, for instance, have been against 3 likely Hall of Famers: Joel Casamayor, Jose Luis Castillo, and Acelino Freitas. Time for a breather, you say? Well, not really. In addition to moving up 2 weight classes tonight, he faces a very tough opponent. Joshua Clottey made a statement in his last match when he got off to a blazing start in his title match with Antonio Margarito. He was ahead after 5 rounds when he was done in by an injury to his left hand, and he lost a decision. But many believe he could have won the match and the title if not for that injury. Tonight, he presents some serious issues for Corrales to deal with. One of those questions for Corrales is whether he can resist the temptation to slug it out on the inside. That's a no-no. And trading left hooks with Clottey could lead to disaster. Corrales should use the hook sparingly. The punches of choice tonight for Corrales should be jabs and straight right hands. The old 1-2. When Corrales wants to discipline himself to using this basic boxing combination, it works. He uses the jab to set up a very good right hand. This is his best path to victory. For Clottey, he needs to get inside where his physical strength matters. And once there, he puts punches together very well. This might be a surprising advantage for him. His main weapon in this match is likely to be the left hook. Early in his match with Antonio Margarito, Clottey crowded him and put himself in a good position to land this left hook. If he can accomplish this against Corrales, he has a very solid chance to win.
All right, Al, this is the very definition of a crossroads fight, not only for Corrales, but for Clottey as well.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, the 29-year-old Clottey has been at this for a while, 12 years as a professional. He's only lost 2 of his 32 fights, Stephen. Those questionable DQ loss to Carlos Baldomir and then that fight with Margarito, influenced certainly by that injury. He's had a slow developing career, though, and if he should lose this fight tonight, he might be labeled as a fighter who cannot win the big fight, and in that case, his boxing biological clock would start ticking.
Well, there's no question it has the makings of a very good fight between a couple of fierce, skilled boxers with a lot at stake. And many boxing pundits believe that Clottey will win tonight. Well, earlier this evening, Karen Bryant spoke with the 12-year pro from Ghana.
Joshua, in your last fight against Antonio Margarito, you courageously went 12 rounds with a broken hand. What happened to your hand, and how's it feeling now?
Yeah, I feel good about the hand now because I went to Africa, do something on it, and everything is okay now, and I'm ready to go.
And exactly what was the injury?
I think it's the knuckle, the left and right knuckle. I injured the left hand in the 4th round, and I injured the right hand in the 5th round. But I think everything is all right now.
All right. Well, we certainly know that Diego Corrales is a courageous man. What do you think of him as a fighter?
Oh, he's a good fighter. I mean, I can't take that away from him. He's 3-time champion. But this is a different ball game. I want to be a champion, so I need to do something for my life. So this is what I'm going to do.
What did you think when you got the call to fight him?
I was very happy because, I never expect that I'll get that chance, and I don't think that he can fight me because he's moving up into weight class. But that is different. He know how his body feels. That's why he's coming to welterweight. So I don't care about that. We're just going to fight.
So you don't think that the weight gain is going to be a problem for him, or do you think that he's well adjusted?
Unless the fight hand.
Yeah. You
can't tell now, unless the fight hand. If I'm throwing my shot to him and he's taking them, that means his body is ready for welterweight. But if he can't control the punches, that means he needs to go down. That is the whole situation.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. You're more of a tried-and-true welterweight. You've got more history in this division. Do you think that you've got an advantage then?
Yeah, I'm a big welterweight, and he is moving up. So I think I will be advantage on him. But I don't know. It's boxing. Boxing is, you don't know what is going to happen. So no matter what, you have to be prepared for everything that is going to happen in the ring. That's it.
All right. Well, we wish you a good fight tonight. Good luck, Joshua, and thanks for talking with us.
Thanks very much.
That was a calm and reserved Joshua Clottey looking to take advantage of the opportunity provided by this man, Diego Corrales. The combination of vulnerability, KO power, incredible heart, plus a willingness to fight the best makes this former champion such an intriguing performer. Al Bernstein recently spent time with Corrales at his Las Vegas training camp.
Because of his recent problems in and out of the ring, I was fully expecting to find a more subdued and possibly introspective Diego Corrales. However, I found this. I was somewhat taken aback by Corrales' jovial behavior and buoyant mood. For while he's recently experienced exhilarating highs, he's also suffered a series of humiliating lows. Go back to time right after the Castillo fight. Could you explain to us kind of what some of those pressures were?
Everybody expected for me to do the exact same thing over and over and over again. go to war, beat yourself up, get your face all dead and bruised, and pull out some miraculous win. You can't do that all the time. You can give me and Castillo 101 times, and you don't know if we'll ever be able to do that show again like that. You never know.
During that period after the Castillo fight, so much happened. You suffered back-to-back losses for the first time in your career. You ended up not making weight for a fight, which was an issue.
Okay, this is a bad patch. And that's all you can side up to. It's like, okay, it's a bad patch. And that's where I'm at now. It's like, okay, hey, I hit a bad stretch. Good to know. I came through my bad stretch. Good to see. One of the good things about the past, I've already lived through it. It's behind me now. All I can do is look forward to the future.
In this case, he'll look forward to the future by going back to the past, enlisting the aid of a trainer from his amateur days, Dickie Wood. When did you meet him? How young was he?
I met him when he was 16 years old and his first time at the Nationals. This kid, tall, gangly kid, knocking everybody out.
Could be you, could.
It might have been.
The jovial demeanor and relaxed atmosphere of the gym belie the fact that Corrales is leaping 2 weight classes and facing a very tough opponent. You have, for your first 147-pound fight, as per Diego Corrales, chosen a fighter who's pretty darn good in Joshua Clottey.
Clottey to the body, to the head, continues to connect.
What's your approach to him?
My first approach when I watched the tape was when we got a brown bag out of the cabinet and packed myself a lunch because I knew I had a long day of work ahead of myself.
Let's just say it's difficult at 147. Let's say the weight is difficult for you. What options would that leave you, if any?
There really is no option going backwards right now. There is absolutely no way physically possible that I'm going to make 140.
Would the ability to fight at 147, or even how this fight goes, have you be thinking about your career in general, whether it should continue, or are you not even close to that point?
As of right now, I think I'm just looking at Josh Clottey and the task I have at hand, which is a pretty big task. And I'll worry about that when I cross that road.
If you had to take a step back and say what your legacy would be in boxing, how would you describe it?
How would I describe it? Valiant. A man that's always, he'd go out on a shield. And I think that's the biggest credit you can give to anybody in this sport. Valiant would be the best way to describe it, because I have been willing to go to the end every time and put on the line every time, and always will.
Interesting words from Corrales. I don't know whether to be surprised or not by Chico's attitude. He seems so relaxed and contented in the face of such a monumental task. But Al Bernstein, I also know this is a guy who just loves to fight, and perhaps that explains his demeanor.
Yeah, in a way it does, maybe. You know, the ring may be his sanctuary. He told us that the past can only haunt you if you look back, and he said, I never look back. But his recent past has had some turmoil, to be sure. He's taken some financial hits, like the $240,000 fine he had to pay when he didn't make the weight against Casamayor. There was the split with his promoter, Gary Shaw, after that fight, which is since reconciled. And then the lawsuit brought against him by former trainer Joe Goosen over money that allegedly is owed to Goosen. Then toss into that the normal concerns of someone with a wife who's 6 months pregnant back in Las Vegas who couldn't make the trip here. And, well, his jovial attitude is either a cover or he's purged all that and he's ready to fight.
It's a lot of potential distractions.
A lot of stuff there.
Then you throw into the equation a big leap of 2 weight classes against a very capable fighter. Is Corrales taking on too much too soon?
You know, to his credit, he has jumped up to face a very, very good fighter. And I think the key to all of this tonight, but beyond all the drama, is the fact that Joshua Clottey brings to this fight a certain skill set that I think makes this a very great fight. I'm not saying it's going to be just like the first Castillo-Corrales fight, but I'm saying it has some of the same scenario built in.
And some wonder if Corrales may be too brave for his own good. That said, both men consider this a must-win scenario. And before we get to Corrales versus Clottey, here's a preview of what's coming up on Showtime. ShoBox, the new generation, returns to the Showtime lineup on Friday, April 20th at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, with one of the most anticipated matchups in its 6-year history. Junior welterweights Kendall Holt versus Mike Arnaudis. On Friday, May 4th at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific, ShoBox features a 10-round heavyweight fight between unbeaten Eddie Chambers and former title holder Dominic Gwynn. May 5th at 10:30 Eastern and Pacific, it's Showtime Championship Boxing 20 years later. A retrospective of the great fights we broadcast in 2006. Premiering Monday, April 30th at 8:30 Eastern and Pacific, Countdown to Dynamite USA, a 6-episode series that follows the fighters on the road to the June 2nd Mixed Martial Arts mega event at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. That spectacular night of mixed martial arts begins live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Showtime as Elite XC presents fights featuring Antonio Silva, Jake Shields, and Gina Carano. And the action continues at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Showtime Pay-Per-View as Pro Elite and FVG present Dynamite USA. The main event features super heavyweights as wrestling legend Brock Lesnar makes his MMA debut against Korean superstar, the Giant, Hangman Choi. And we hope you'll tune in for all the upcoming action. Up next, it's not often a fight involving two guys coming off losses and no championship belt on the line would generate this much buzz. But many boxing insiders consider this a fascinating matchup as we close in on Corrales versus Clottey. Natural welterweight Joshua Clottey, who we weighed earlier tonight, one day after the official weigh-in. And guess what, folks? He checked in at a whopping 170, close to light heavyweight. Initially yesterday, he was a little over 151, had to sweat off 2 pounds to reach the agreed-upon weight.
That's a lot of weight to gain. It may tell us something about what it took for him to get down to 149.
And what's a Corrales fight without a weight issue, right, Al? Yeah. Despite the fact that Clottey's taking on a 3-time world champ, and he is not as known, certainly not as celebrated as Corrales. However, he comes into this fight as the betting favorite, a little more than 2-1.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is you see that confidence of him coming into the ring. With all that Corrales has done, if you poll boxing pundits, most of them, Steve, are going to tell you they think Clottey is the favorite and should win this fight. And the big thing is Clottey believes it. He has the kind of confidence it will take against a warrior and a never-say-die fighter like Corrales.
Well, he comes off the losing but valiant, brave effort versus Antonio Margarito in his lone title shot, but a victory tonight is his chance for the big time, his ticket to stardom. It puts him among the elite in the talent-rich welterweight division and returns him to certain title contention. Ultra confident Diego Corrales, who says now he trains not to lose weight, but to fight. In this his welterweight debut. Earlier tonight, we weighed Corrales. He checked in at 160 pounds. He is now a middleweight. And he hears it from this spirited crowd here in Springfield, Missouri. Of course, he's the more famous, recognizable guy, a symbol of tenacity and no quit. We'll see if one of the epic rounds, round 10 versus Jose Luis Castillo, something professional coaches show their players as inspiration, will be a metaphor for his career. But how many times can you come off the floor? Al, he enters as the underdog, but that's nothing new to Corrales. Perhaps he's not only comfortable with it, but fueled by it.
I agree with you on both counts. It does fuel him, and if it's a metaphor for anything, it's also a metaphor for his life. Not a smooth trip, always some adversity to come back from for him, and always something to prove to cynics that say he can't do it. He's fired up tonight, and so is this crowd.
Some feel it's the beginning of the end for Diego Corrales. Others say it's a new dawn. Let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Both closing in on 30 years of age, the biggest disparity in height. Corrales nearly 5'11" with the 2.5-inch advantage. However, neither has the edge in the reach department. And both guys said it wouldn't be easy making 147. And boy, they were right. As mentioned, Corrales now 11 pounds heavier. Clottey 21 pounds more than yesterday. Significant to say the least. And the key unified rules for what feels like a title fight. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt causes a fight to end within 4 rounds, it's a no decision. After 4 rounds, they go to the scorecards. And if a punch causes a cut and the injured fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. So here at the Shrine Mosque in Springfield, Missouri, getting ready for Diego Corrales versus Joshua Clottey in a special welterweight attraction scheduled for 10 rounds. The official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the Shrine Mosque here in Springfield, Missouri, as we present our featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions and Tony Holden Productions in association with Buffalo Run Casino and Showtime. Well, fans, tonight's action is sanctioned by the Missouri Office of Athletics, the Executive Director, Becky Dunn, Administrator Tim Lukanoff, our physicians at ringside, Dr. Thomas McLean and Dr. Carrie Marquise, and our timekeeper at the bell is Marcia Champion. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Kansas City, Missouri, Jerry Griffin. From Macon, Missouri, Leo Johnson. And from Tulsa, Oklahoma, David Sutherland. And introducing to you our 3rd man of the ring, our referee in charge. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions from Columbia, Missouri, Mike England. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in a welterweight special attraction. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Springfield, Missouri, it's showtime! Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, fighting out of the Bronx, New York, by way of Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at 149 pounds with a record of 30 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. He has 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the WBO number 4 ranked welterweight in the world, introducing Joshua Peter Clottey. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing solid black trunks, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Sacramento, California. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 149 pounds, with a record of 40 wins, 4 losses. He has 33 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the hard-hitting former champion of the world at the junior light and lightweight divisions. Please welcome the 3-time world champion, introducing Diego Chico Corrales. Once again, a referee in charge, Mike England, now to give instructions. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled.
Right here. Come on in close. Okay, fellas, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. I expect a tough, clean fight and obey my commands at all times. When I tell you to stop fighting, I expect you to stop fighting, okay? Anything below the belly button right here is going to be a low blow, all right? Right here, I can't see yours, so you're going to be able to hit the line right here. You guys got any questions? Got any questions? You need to get this tape fixed right here when you go back to the corner, okay? Put a little tape around it. When you get back in the corner. You guys got any questions? God bless both of you. Come out fighting at the bell.
Sensational atmosphere. The fans really into it. The prevailing opinion, the pace of this fight rests with Diego Corrales. The intent of Corrales is to be technical As you see him there with his new old trainer, his former amateur coach, Dickie Wood, replacing Joe Goosen. He wants to fight a tactical, smart, outside fight against Clottey, an experienced, aggressive, defensively tight boxer puncher who wants to get inside and dig those left hooks to Chico's body. He's a physically strong, accurate hitter, a good counter puncher whose calling card is a punishing left hook, a weapon that has not been kind to Corrales. It'll be interesting to see if Corrales sticks to his game plan of staying outside and boxing. And here we go, round one scheduled for 10, non-title affair, but the aura of a championship fight. Big question on everybody's mind, can Corrales absorb the punches of a true welterweight, even at his size? Remember, his chin and defense issues to begin with. Usually compensates with heart and with power. Will he carry his power to welterweight? There's no questioning his heart.
Already a good left hook by Clottey. Diego is moving around this ring and is true to his word to try and be more tactical, but already Clottey was able to get in and land the left hook.
Clottey said it won't take much to draw Corrales in and make him fight. He thinks Corrales is a very proud man, and if I hit him hard, said Clottey, he'll seek revenge. There's that left hook combination, 3-4 in a row by Joshua Clottey, followed up by a right hand. He's more effective when he throws those hooks in combination.
I think one of the wild cards in this fight is, in fact, Clottey's combination punching. It's better than some suspect.
And, of course, with Clottey, the looming question is the left hand. Is it 100%? That's his money hand.
Corrales throwing those combinations from outside, but so far the defense of Clottey, which is very good, has bedeviled him a little bit. See, look at the hands high for Clottey. And he lands two good left hooks, this Clottey.
Clottey really digging in. Yeah, Clottey's been down only once in his pro debut. There's Corrales showing his hand speed, and the referee, Mike England, telling him to get the punches up. Corrales, of course, down 11 times in his career. Good left hand there to the chin by Clottey. Clottey, hard body shot with the left hand. Corrales continues to stay on the outside. Now he jabs, backs up. Not looking to go forward and engage Clottey.
You know, already the distance between these two men has been closed a lot. Now, you know, those combinations by Corrales look nice, but most of them are being blocked here in round one. Oh, look at the body work by Clottey. Fantastic.
Work rate by Joshua Clottey here in the opening round. Oh, there's a heavy right hand right on the head. And now Corrales, disoriented, was holding on, and that was a slip.
But he was hurt.
Don't push him down, understand?
That one really rocked Corrales here in the first round. 14 seconds to go. A big right hand by Joshua Clottey that certainly got the attention of the three-time world champion.
Time. Get that tape fixed. Fix that tape.
I want you moving to your left. No, you got to get outside the ring. I want you moving to your left, away from his hook.
Keep your punches up.
Okay?
Three of them.
I want you moving to your left, away from his hook. You hear me? Okay, I want a little more head.
Joshua Clottey landed some very telling punches in the last round. The jab and the straight right hand, a combination we thought we'd see more of from Corrales. He kept punching on the inside, and while that was a slip, there's no question Corrales was stunned during that exchange. That, along with those left hooks to the body and the head, important.
Drop the right when he steps to it, okay? Let's keep this jab going more, okay? How do you feel? You okay?
Let's go.
Look at that clean. Are you ready? Let's do this.
Let's go. Seconds out.
There has to be concern in the corner of Diego Corrales. The first round belonging to Joshua Clottey. Round two scheduled for 10.
You guys got to speed up this corner.
And you know, Steve, one question is answered already in this fight. We know Clottey can stun Diego Corrales. We don't know whether Corrales can hurt him. Margarito didn't really hurt Clottey badly, and he's a very big welterweight, almost a junior middleweight.
Let's see how Corrales responds after he was walloped with that booting right towards the end of the first round by Clottey. Clottey now with the uppercuts, digging 3-4. There's a great combination upstairs by Clottey, and he continues to have his way.
Clottey looks just like he did in the first 4 rounds against Margarito. Before he hurt his left hand. This is very reminiscent of what he did.
Clottey extremely sharp. And Corrales' punches don't seem nearly as heavy as Clottey's. Slapping with the left, blocked by Clottey. Clottey with a very responsible defense.
It's not that Diego's not throwing nice combinations. He is. They're just not getting there.
One good left hook got in during that series by Corrales to the jaw of Joshua Clottey.
And look how already now this is an inside battle. That's what Clottey wanted. Let's see if Diego can make the most of it as he did against Jose Luis Castillo, to everyone's surprise.
Yeah, so much for the outside tactical fight here by Diego Corrales. It is now turned into an inside fight, and as Al points out, that is to the liking of Clottey, who continues to hammer away with both hands. Joshua Clottey all over Corrales.
Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads. Hands off each other.
A very rough first 2 rounds for Diego Corrales.
The back of his head. All right? Box.
Clottey, of course, known for fouling, for coming in with his head, for low blows, for holding, being warned by Mike England for hitting behind the head. Left hook to the head of Clottey by Corrales. Corrales missed with a right, and a beautiful right hand counter by Clottey. Those punches blocked by Clottey, by Corrales.
There's one thing Joshua Clottey has to be careful of. He's throwing those uppercuts from sometimes too far out, and he might get countered. But boy, he is winning the battle on the inside right now against Corrales.
Some outstanding left hooks, a series of hooks by Joshua Clottey. Tremendous hand speed. Low blow by Corrales, not noted. Now England says keep your punches up to Corrales.
This is exactly where Joshua Clottey wanted this fight. It's exactly where Corrales didn't want it, where they didn't want it to be fought, and Clottey is winning the battle right now.
Well, Clottey was right. He knew he could draw Corrales in, and boy, it didn't take long.
Punches up.
Now there's more body work being done by Corrales now.
Look at
Clottey go.
Unanswered punches by Joshua Clottey. 1-2 combination, beautiful again. Tremendous work by Clottey in round 2.
Sit down, baby. You're fighting the wrong fight. You're getting inside with him, baby. Hey, where's our focus? Give me a towel. Where's our focus? Are we going to get our focus going? Give me some grease.
The highlight of this fight and the headline is the hand speed and combination punching of Clottey. I mentioned in the, and you see it there, I mentioned in the keys that on the inside he throws multiple punches much quicker than I think Diego Corrales thought Clottey would be. If we look at the same sequence of punches from a different angle, and you see how quick Clottey is with those hands. He is a very sound boxer who, believe me, is one of the best welterweights in the world. And at the end of the round, the uppercut snaps the head of Diego Corrales back. Clottey is now unafraid to throw that uppercut even from far out, not worried about being countered.
Corrales certainly is game, but can he hang in a fight with a natural 147-pounder with the skills of a Joshua Clottey? Remember, this is a fighter, Corrales, who once said he was willing to walk through hell for a victory. Well, he may have to do that again tonight.
You know, we're very early in this fight, and you don't like to make pronouncements like this, but I think, Steve, if Diego Corrales can't stun or hurt Clottey in some way, he is absolutely going to get blown out in this fight.
Watch your hands, Five.
And the only thing that would make that not be so is if the left hand got re-injured by Clottey. And you know, that weight that Clottey gained going up to 170, look at it 2 different ways. It's weighing on Corrales by him leaning on it, or as the fight goes on, it may affect Clottey. Right now, though, that extra weight and the strength of Clottey is making a big impact.
Clottey continues to score with uppercuts and hooks. Combination of that big right hand to the jaw of a bloodied Diego Corrales. Corrales almost looking like he's ready to go. But he has always gone out on his shield. There's no reason to believe he'll do any different tonight.
He landed a nice left hook to the head of Clottey. Let's see if that had any impact.
For a moment, comes back.
Watch it, coming up underneath. Stop.
And Dickie Wood said to him, you're fighting the wrong fight, but he walked right into the inside again against Clottey. Now Corrales is getting there with the hook a little bit more. Let's see if it's having an impact. Clottey has slowed down a bit.
Come on, free your hands up.
A very subtle shift toward the end, toward the last minute of this fight. Corrales is starting to land a lot of body shots and some good left hooks on the inside. Let's see if that signals any turn in this fight.
Clottey suddenly, as you put it, slowing down, perhaps just a little winded. I mean, an amazing work rate, a lot of punches, very busy. There he comes again now. Maybe he's just storing it up, looking for a little bit of a second win. But Corrales comes back again.
You know, give Diego Corrales credit, though. He has been a warrior in this round.
A series of uppercuts to the chin by Clottey.
Wow, this is an amazing pace in this fight.
Oh, what a left hand to the jaw by Joshua Clottey, a lead left.
Fight out of there, come on.
And that was just like target practice.
Get back, get back.
Corrales at times just wide open for these punches. Clottey missing there with the left. Wild round.
This round is start with boxing. This round is start with boxing. Now move, jabbling. Don't stand, don't.
Joshua Clottey on the inside where he wants to be, ripping those combinations. Look at, that's a 5-punch combination on the inside. I guarantee you Diego Corrales didn't think he would get out-punched like this, but with all the punishment he took in the beginning of the round, give Diego Corrales a lot of credit. In the last half of that round, he did some good work, landing that very nice left hook that momentarily changed things, and he would also, Diego Corrales, do some great body work, as you see there during the course of that round. But right at the end of the round, Clottey really turned it around, landing those uppercuts, tremendous punches for him. The only problem is what he just did there. He's throwing uppercuts from way outside, might get countered by Corrales.
Two fearless, gutsy, determined fighters. Excellent two-way action in that last round. Now this is developing into a very, very exciting fight. Round 4.
Now I'm going to tell you something. Diego Corrales has done some fantastic body work early in this fight. So has Clottey. Oh, I think Clottey hurt him with the body shot there. Both, I haven't seen this much great body work since, dare I say it, the first Castillo-Corrales fight. Good right hand downstairs by Corrales. He's fighting good, very well now, but the problem is it's still the wrong place for him to be.
Yeah, they're in the trenches on the inside. Just wonder how much longer they can keep up that incredible pace. There's a low blow by Corrales.
He's got to be close to taking a point away. Corrales has thrown about 5 low blows in this fight.
Back comes Clottey, and they continue to just wing away from very close range. Now Clottey with a near low blow.
Gil Clancy, the great trainer and broadcaster, used to say it. My guy gets hit low, I send him out and say, return the favor, pal.
Yep. Clottey had a low blow festival with Richard Gutierrez. And, of course, he was DQ'd, although questionable, against Carlos Baldemir. That was upstairs to the head. Clottey controlling that fight up until the stoppage. So Clottey is sticking to the script that Al wrote for him in the keys to victory, but Corrales is not.
Now, Clottey's work rate has slowed a little bit. But when he lands punches, they're very significant. But Diego's having a fairly good 4th round.
Got Clottey pinned in the corner, but Clottey could be playing possum there.
I don't think Clottey's hurt, but Corrales is making some things happen.
There's a good right uppercut on the inside by Clottey. But Corrales continues to trap him and pin him in, but Clottey's throwing back. Clottey doesn't seem to be hurt at all.
Did Corrales punch himself out a little in that sequence? Will Clottey come back in the final moments of this round? Let's see.
Well, he certainly did in the last round. Final 30 seconds of round 4. It's scheduled for 10. Beautiful combination upstairs and downstairs by Clottey, showing fantastic hand speed. Oh, what a blistering left hand to the jaw by Clottey.
A pretty close fourth round, but the showy punches of Clottey might win this round at the end.
And the left uppercut to the chin by Clottey, scoring. Corrales' punches not having much effect. Most of them being blocked. Left hook to the head by Clottey. Clottey bobbing and weaving now, eluding punches. Oh, brother. Clottey raises his arm and hears it from the crowd.
Don't give him his range. You either stay in close or you stay out at your range. Look at me. You either stay in close or stay at your range. Get him wet. Get him wet. Give me some water.
Let me see the nose.
Okay. Listen to me. You either stay in close with the head on his right shoulder, crisscross for the uppercut.
Clottey was pinned against the ropes for a good portion of that last round, and Diego Corrales threw a lot of combinations. Some of those blocked, some got through, trying to work the body. You see the defense of Joshua Clottey. It's so good. And then after this sequence, Clottey would do some good work with the uppercuts. Now, the uppercut is such a major weapon in this fight for Clottey. When he throws it from the inside, it's good. When he throws it from the outside, he risks getting hit. But so far, it has been, along with those hooks to the body, a big weapon for him.
Now, we've said this before, we'll say it again. It's almost impossible for Corrales to be in a dull fight. Corrales comes out ripping, but they're blocked by Clottey. Clottey with a very tight defense, elbows in, hands high. So let's see if Corrales attempts to go to the body. Corrales with that great uppercut once again. That has been such a successful weapon all night long.
But you know, while we thought Corrales was stunned back in the first and second round, since then these big punches by Clottey don't appear to have had him in big trouble, even though they're landing clearly. So Corrales is absorbing them, even those big uppercuts.
He is. You wonder how much longer, though, he can put up with this. Oh, back comes Corrales with a big left hand to the head of Clottey.
This is a great boxing match. Skillfully fought and as exciting as you'd like to see.
Back and forth action.
Wow, look at those combinations by Clottey on the inside.
One-handed. Like one after another with the left hand. And he's just so much more effective when he does that.
You know, we saw...
The fans are getting behind Chico. Fans are hoping to see Corrales rally. Clottey taking the early lead, round 5, halfway through, scheduled for 10, non-title affair. But you wouldn't know that by the aura in this arena.
It's round 5, like round 4, one that Corrales is winning early. Let's see if he can sustain it over a whole round.
So far, Clottey has been able to muster and come back in the latter part of almost every round. With a minute to go, let's see what happens here. Here he comes, and he's the one with his back to the rope.
Oh, wow.
And he's fighting off the ropes. He's got nowhere to go, and he's scoring. He's winning this scenario. Unbelievable. What a shot to the head of Corrales.
He's hurt now. Corrales got hurt with that left uppercut, I believe.
But he continues to fight back. That is vintage Diego Corrales. But he is in rough shape here. Rough shape.
It's a round in which Corrales has probably done more, but the more solid punches landed by Clottey. Tricky round to score.
Those punches blocked by Clottey. That one wasn't, but back comes Clottey. Sustained back and forth. Two-way action.
It's a battle of attrition, it really is.
Oh, what a right hand. A whip of a right to the side of Corrales' head by Clottey. Clottey with a left hook, an uppercut, a right, a left, and he's all over Corrales. And he nails him at the bell, just for good measure.
Sit down, baby. Sit down. How do you feel? Where's your mouthpiece?
Move your head on both sides. On both sides and punch.
Listen to me. You've got to go shoulder to shoulder. Here and here. When you're staying here and you're looking at him, he is teeing up on you. You hear me? Get your arms down, baby. Can you hear me, baby? You've got to start moving your head. How do you feel? How do you feel?
What a scintillating 5th round. And in the corner, that hand speed of Joshua Clottey, showing again how effective he can be when he throws punches in combination on the inside. In a round in which Diego Corrales had won the first 2 minutes of the round, but toward the end here, Clottey became very, very active and fighting off the ropes did well. But Corrales never stopped punching, and that's been the hallmark of this fight for Corrales. He's kept himself in it by continually having a good work rate, even if all the punches don't land.
Right now, this looks like a prelude to disaster for Diego Chico Corrales. We'll see what happens from this moment on round 6. It's scheduled for 10. Supposedly welterweights, but Corrales weighed in today on our scale at 160. Clottey at 170, believe it or not.
You know, this is the first 10-rounder Diego Corrales had scheduled 10-rounder he's had since June of 2003. All his matches since then have been title fights. Go 12.
And he's lost his last 2. Clottey coming off a loss, but looking good despite the loss.
Well, and in that loss, as we noted, he was doing very well over the first 5 rounds until he hurt his left hand.
So pushing on Diego with your head.
At the halfway point, unofficially press row. Joe Press from the Associated Press, Kyle Nedenrip from the local Springfield News Leader, Ben Schulberg from BoxingTalk.com. Across the board, Al.
They've given 1 round. I made the 5th round even. Here comes Corrales. I have it 50-46 for Clottey.
And Clottey now comes back with a left-right combination. Back comes Corrales.
You know, Diego Corrales, in terms of volume of punches, is doing a very good job right now.
But here comes Clottey. That was like hitting a punching bag.
Okay, watch your head. Watch your head. Box.
And it just bounced off the head of Corrales. Amazing what he can take. And remember, that was a big concern coming up in weight.
The Clottey pace has slowed. He has been fighting in spurts the last couple of rounds. Corrales, you can't say that about. He's had a pretty sustained effort to both the body and the head.
But there can be no question that Clottey is ahead.
Yeah, he's definitely ahead in this fight, but Corrales could narrow the gap if he wins this round, and this is a close round 6.
And he better start getting on his horse. Oh, what a shot by Joshua Clottey. And another one, a right hand to the head of Diego Corrales, and that looked nasty. His head just snapped back.
The old adage is if you win the last 45 seconds of a round, you might steal them, and that may be the case with Clottey.
And yeah, and oftentimes these are close. So here's Clottey. It's home run derby for Joshua Clottey. He is throwing bombs, just batting away at the head of Corrales.
You know, Corrales is throwing some great combinations in this round, but the showy punches belong to Clottey.
Look at this. Joshua Clottey on the inside continues to have his way, wailing away at Corrales.
Listen, when that 10-second bell rings, he unloads. Listen, when that 10-second bell rings, he unloads. You've got to move your
water
head.
down his throat. Diego, let me see the nose.
Let Jesse work. Listen to me.
Well, against the ropes, we saw plenty of action. This time, it's the center of the ring. They stayed in the center of the ring, and they battled it out during the course of that round. Clottey again using the uppercut. He's used it so effectively. Both men throwing great combinations. Great work by Corrales. You know, he landed a lot of good combinations in that round. But again, Clottey, at the end of the round, in the last 30 or 40 seconds, did some phenomenal work that may have stolen the round.
Well, talk about going toe to toe.
Right there.
Non-stop action for the most part in this fight, and it's going to take an awful lot to discourage Chico Corrales.
This has been an absolutely spectacular fight.
And again, the crowd rallying behind Corrales.
wants Corrales to keep going to the body and move his head more. I'll tell you why they want to go to the body. They think they've slowed Joshua Clottey down. And maybe Clottey, to get down to that 149 pounds, because he ended up going back up to 170, drained himself a bit. And I'll tell you, Corrales has thrown some good body punches in this fight, as has Clottey.
Well, Clottey has really had success on the inside, the uppercuts, and of course his left hook.
You know, we thought, though, that if Clottey could land a lot of big punches, it might be too much for Corrales, he being the real welterweight. But give Corrales all the credit in the world. He's taken monster shots, and while he looked hurt early, he hasn't been close to going down.
Remember the old rock'em, sock'em robots? Very reminiscent of that.
This has been like that Corrales-Castillo fight, a textbook on inside fighting, great technique, good body work, everything you can do on the inside, these fighters have done and done well.
Corrales may not be winning this fight out, but once again, he's providing a very exciting fight.
Come on, fight out there. Let go.
Well, for a half of a round, he boxed tactically from the outside, and then it all changed.
And Clottey was right in his prediction that he would be able to lure Corrales in.
Now, the punch output, you have to say, has been more by Corrales, but are those punches as effective as the ones Clottey is throwing? That's what the judges are going to have to decide. This round, another classic example of that.
3 judges from the local area, 2 from Missouri, 1 Oklahoma. Clottey may be a little winded right now. That's what Corrales is hoping.
Corrales showing very good hand speed on the inside with those combinations.
And I'm very impressed with Clottey's hand speed as well.
Come on, guys. Fight out of there. Stop.
Clottey's punches, as Al would put it, more showy, heavier. But Corrales very busy. No question.
It's been a very consistent effort over the last 4 rounds by Diego Corrales. But again, at the end of the round, here comes Clottey.
Corrales out of a deep crouch. I think these 2 guys won't respect each other after tonight.
Fight your high fair hard can happen. Fight your really like easy. Your high fair hard can happen. Joshua, when you are close, don't wait. Keep touching him. Oh, my God, that is an unconquered that. Touch him, man. They set it up.
Clottey doing some very, very good work, getting the right hand in. When he's at medium range, he's done some good work. That punch that hurt Corrales earlier in the fight gets there, and there's the left hook, and always combinations by Clottey. There you see the straight right hand. We talk a lot about the hook of Clottey, but he does have a very good right hand as well. This fight is becoming a very interesting affair.
Look deep into the eyes of Diego Corrales. They don't look good. Round 8. They speak a combination of Ga and English in the corner of Clottey. The trainer Kwame Asante. Joshua Clottey from the boxing famous Ga tribe in Accra, Ghana, that produced the great Azuma Nelson and Ike Cortez.
You know, he's coming out in this round more purposeful, Clottey. I think that Diego Corrales has, to some degree, taken a little of the play away from him in the last couple of rounds.
Ooh, a wicked left hook by Joshua Clottey. You can hear it in the last row.
He is really ripping those punches. Clottey more active here in round 8 than he's been in the last couple of rounds.
Corrales offering back. Again, Clottey's punches seem more effective, harder. More evil intention.
Clottey ripping the body a little bit more early in this round.
Come on, guys.
Clottey holding. He is known for this.
As this fight goes on, Mike England might have to be a little more active in breaking them, even though he didn't have to earlier, because both fighters are getting more tired. They may lean on each other and hold a little more, like this. close round 8, Clottey has landed possibly the more significant punches. Nice right hand by Chico, but here comes Joshua Clottey back.
Clottey's hand speed is just fantastic. Like a buzzsaw. Left hook to the head by Clottey. Back comes Corrales, and a right hand over the top by Clottey.
You know, this is an important round, I think, for Clottey to try and take back control of this fight. For the most part, he's done it, but we've got some time left in this round.
Stop! Stop!
We approach the final minute of round 8. It's scheduled for 10.
You know, Corrales for the first time doing some arm punching, not getting a lot of leverage in some of those punches.
And you don't have to be a genius to figure out why. He is tired.
Yes, you are correct. And also now Corrales squaring himself up to Clottey, and that's why it's getting hit right there.
Clottey pushes him back with a left and a right. Corrales then, what else would you expect? Comes forward. Hangs on. Winks at somebody, as if to say, I've got it under control. Unbelievable, Diego Corrales.
This has been a very, very good round for Joshua Clottey, coming for him at the right time in this fight.
Stop! Come on, watch it.
Final seconds of round 8. Will it be Joshua Clottey's defining night? He's looking for his defining moment here at the end of the round. He turns it up again. Clottey's girlfriend of 4 years, Ruth Dadu. Clottey credits Ruth with helping renew his confidence. Well, he is fighting with a lot of confidence tonight.
You see what he's doing? Keep touching you small. Small. Keep the head moving.
Joshua Clottey ripping left hooks. They have been an important weapon for him, and look at him in a nice combination, 3-4 punch combination, and it's a very creative combination. And again, the same sequence. You see him start with the left hook, then throw another hook, an uppercut. Come on, red corner. Then a straight right. A great variety of punches from Clottey. Great effort by him.
Come on, let's go, guys. Hurry him up.
Round 9 scheduled for 10. Corrales is running out of time.
Right there.
But by the way he fights, he will never run out of fans.
Absolutely, and you know, I think Diego Corrales is behind in this fight, but he's been extraordinarily competitive in this fight, and against a big, true welterweight, has taken the punches, come back strong himself, and given a great account of himself. Now, the key to this fight being 10 rounds, it is less time if, in fact, Corrales is behind, which we believe he is, for him to mount a comeback. And Clottey, I don't believe, has ever been hurt in this fight.
No, the left hand holding up. He said in Karen Bryant's interview that he hurt the right hand as well in the Margarito fight, but he seems to be doing very well in that department. Hasn't had to go to plan B.
Well, you know, you can make the case that Corrales' career, or at least his career on center stage of boxing, is at stake right now because he can't go down. He can't get to 140, so if he cannot win fights at welterweight, it's going to be difficult for him. Oh, my.
Corrales is rocked. Corrales is rocked. He's in trouble. Clottey wants to end it here midway through the night. Let's see if they rule this a knockdown. No, they do not rule it a knockdown.
Appropriate by Mike England. He was pushed down. That's appropriate ruling by him.
And Clottey being warned by England for pulling him down. But what a sequence for the fighter from Ghana, Joshua Clottey, who is really turning a lot of heads tonight. But that once again showed the guts and determination and resolve and heart of Diego Corrales. We're seeing so much here tonight on both sides.
Left hooks to the body by Clottey. These men have landed some hellacious body punches.
Oh, what is holding Corrales up? He goes down. Flat on his back.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come right here to me. Come right here to me. Walk straight to me. You want to continue?
You got to get the mouthpiece back.
Get in the corner. Get in the corner. Come here. Hurry up. Hurry it up. Put it right in his mouth and hurry it up. Hurry up. Get in his mouth. Right here. Fuck. Let's go.
Some time ran off. You see 13 seconds left. Can he survive the final seconds of the night? Clottey wants to end it right here. Close the show right here. He's got 7 seconds. Corrales just holds on for dear life.
Step back. Step back.
He made it.
Get over on this side. Get in here. I got it. You want to finish this round?
Yes, don't let him win this fight. Go after him now. You got it in you.
Listen to me. Go get him. How do you feel? You want to keep going?
Mouthpiece out again. I take a point away.
All right. He didn't mean to. He got hit.
I got it.
All right. Listen to me. You've got to keep your hands up and hold on to it. And
Here was where Diego Corrales got in trouble in that last round. Nailed with some big shots by Clottey. It started with that very short right hand, and then he just kept throwing combinations. And he would kind of push Corrales down, and Mike England appropriately did not call a knockdown. Let me tell you who one of the other winners this time, Mike England. He is refereeing a fantastic fight. Here comes the knockdown. Clottey on the inside, working, even though Corrales is punching back. Corrales squares himself up to Clottey, and when he does that, Clottey's able to land a series of punches.
Boxing's symbol for courage and heart needs more of his heroics right here that he's had against Jose Luis Castillo in the first fight. But is he in even worse shape now than he was then in round 10?
And as you aptly point out, that was in fact the round where he turned it around. But he had hurt Castillo before in that fight. He has not hurt Clottey in this fight. So that may be the big difference. We'll see.
It is desperation time for Diego Corrales. Many feel his career, his legacy could be at stake. That a loss here tonight could be utterly disastrous in the long run.
There's very little doubt Corrales would need a knockout to win this fight. I can't imagine that he wouldn't.
But it's Clottey going for the knockout, and he almost got one there with the left hand. But then again, look who you're going up against. Sometimes you wonder if Corrales is human.
You know, here's where Joshua Clottey, who is not by trade a boxer, but he really needs to just get through this 10th round. So the more chances he takes, the more bad things can happen to him, but it's the way he's fighting.
That's not his way, right? He's got that mindset, that mentality, that warrior-like mentality. He's fearless, he's hungry, and he wants to end this in explosive fashion. Midway through the 10th and final round.
That left hand that got hurt against Margarito, and you see the cut over the eye of Corrales, yet another issue for him. That left hand that he hurt against Margarito is held up beautifully, and he's worked it for all he can tonight.
Blood streaking down the face of Diego Corrales. What does he have left? Down he goes! Right hand.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come right here. Come right here to me. Walk to me. Continue. Hey, time. Come right here.
Mouthpiece again.
Right here. 1 point for spitting the mouthpiece out. 1 point. 1 point for spitting the mouthpiece out. 1 point for spitting the mouthpiece out. Come here. Come here. And spit it out. Spit it out.
He got it knocked out. He got it knocked out. Don't worry about it, dude.
Put it in your mouth. Right. We'll go. Hey, time in.
Does this look familiar? 1 point for spitting out the mouthpiece. It's deja vu all over again. Can he pull a miracle again like he did with Castillo? 36 seconds remaining.
Very unlikely, but we'll see. He's trying.
And how ironic, it's round 10.
You know, Clottey is trying to help him do that by throwing big, wide left hooks.
Big sweeping hooks, opening himself up.
If I'm Joshua Clottey, I got to tell you, I don't get anywhere near Diego Corrales for the next 14 seconds. Yes, sirree, Joshua Clottey. It's the four corners offense of Dean Smith right now for him.
He's smart. Now he's smart. I mean, he's got a great chin, but why risk it? Final seconds of the fight. They're standing here in Springfield, Missouri, and Joshua Clottey drops to the canvas. So emotional. He knows he's got this one. Joshua Clottey. Partly exhaustion and emotion. Being carried around the ring.
Good fight. You know that? You want to move down to 40? What do you think? You know I love you, right? You do know that, right? What's that? Yeah, that's all he did was steal the last part of the close rounds. Let me get closer.
Interesting to hear what Dickie Wood was saying to Diego Corrales. You want to move down to 140.
Well, you can make the case that's the weight for him, but he says he can't get to it. This man made a very important statement tonight against a fighter who fought very well, I might add. Diego Corrales fought well. He did many good things. Tactically fought the wrong fight, but he fought well and for most of this fight.
And it, of course, will not be a major surprise if Clottey wins, since many people in boxing, insiders, the pundits, were giving Clottey a good chance to win in the first place based on a number of variables.
Good fight. Maybe you win, maybe.
Outstanding night for Joshua Clottey, highlighted by round 10.
If he needed an exclamation point on this match, he got it in the 10th round. That short right hand that Corrales walked into, he goes down to the mat, spits the mouthpiece out, which seems to be his modus operandi when he's knocked down, whether it's reflex or whatever. And Mike England did exactly the right thing. He counted, and he took a point away for spitting the mouthpiece out. And every time he's gone over there, he said, hurry up, put this mouthpiece back in. He's aware of the controversy that happened in the Castillo fight. But no matter, that's all going to be academic. Another look at how he walked into this short right hand. Corrales throws the right, his left is low. A counter right hand. For all we've said about the left hook of Clottey, he's hurt Corrales with the right as much as the left tonight. And that punch has been very, very effective for him.
Joshua Clottey is showing he has power in both hands.
One of the most ridiculous things in boxing is that Joshua Clottey is ranked 4th by the WBO, not ranked in the top 15 by any other organization in boxing. That's just stupid. This guy's a very, very good fighter. He showed it against Margarito and tonight as well.
Well, he was overlooked, underrated, underappreciated before tonight. You'd have to be a fool to underappreciate this man from this point on.
And that's true even if you discount the fact that Corrales went up 2 weight classes and said, well, he was fighting a lightweight coming up. No, he was fighting a terrific lightweight coming up who showed great grit and skill tonight.
And the look on the face of Diego Corrales pretty much tells it all. Well, he just looks like a beaten fighter as we get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, David Sutherland scores about 97 to 90. Leo Johnson sees it 98-89. And Jerry Griffin scores about 100-87. All three in favor of the winner, Joshua Hitter Clottey.
Well, he creamed them. An utterly lopsided decision.
I had it 98-90, but you know what? That's the most competitive lopsided decision you will ever see. And for Diego Corrales, leaves him very much in a quandary.
Yeah, in defeat, Corrales not only loses a shot to be in contention for another title, but his future as a boxer very much in doubt. Can he still resurrect his career following yet another big setback, his third in a row? Can the fighter who symbolizes guts and will and comebacks from the ashes do it one more time? Let's go up into the ring and Karen Bryant. Karen?
All right, thank you very much, Steve. I'm here with Joshua Clottey. Congratulations to you, Joshua. How did you feel in there tonight against Diego? Obviously, the left hand looking okay.
Yeah, everything is, I told you already that the hand is correct. Everything is all right because the African medicine is very good.
Now, you were talking about the fight. You wanted to bring him inside. You thought you were able to lure him in very easily. It seemed that way, yes?
Yeah, you know, my combinations are very speed and very good. So I always, anytime I fight, I always concentrate on my combination. So I know if I started to my combination, I'm going to get him.
Okay. Did he hurt you at all? Because it looked like, you know, Dickie Wood was telling him, go to the body, and it looked like at times that was having an effect.
You know, one thing about me is, if you go into my body, I don't get tired. Because I always run hard, and my defense is very tight. But let me give congratulations to Diego. He's very, very tough fighter. And he's very, very good fighter. Trust me, he can stay in welterweight and he can fight them, only if he gets training.
Absolutely. Now, can you stay with me for a minute so I talk to Diego for just a second? Chico, can you get in here for a second? All right, that was another intense one from Chico. That's why we love you.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now obviously we came in, you know, it was a 147 fight, but you came in at 160 today. Joshua weighed in at 170. How did that weight feel, you know, on your own body and pressing down on you coming from him?
I felt fine. I mean, it's a tough fight, you know. Good fight, that's all I can say.
Well, it was a terrific fight, and there were times when all of us are sitting there and we're saying, is this the Castillo fight again? Because you're going in there and well, let's talk about the round 9 knockdown, because we saw that in the Castillo fight. We know you can rally. Tell me what happened in the 9th round.
I got hit with a good shot. My mistake. He sat back and actually what happened when he put my head down, he got me with a good shot. And just started rallying off of there. And he was like, well, so you know, when you get those 3-4 shots coming together, it's very hard to stop or catch him. Got me some good shots.
And how do you feel about round 10? Because obviously, again, reminiscent of the Castillo fight, we see the mouthpiece situation, the knockdown. Let's talk about that knockdown and what you were going to do to rally.
You know, my jaw's hurt right now really bad. He done a good shot, and you know, when you can't bite down on a mouthpiece, it's hard to keep that bad boy in your mouth. I mean, you can see the way I'm talking right now.
Oh, absolutely.
You can see the way my face is swollen right now. So I don't think that needs to explain. I think the point was a little. I mean, I think when you look at the damages you see overall, you can tell.
Do you think it's broken?
I tend to find out. If it is, well, chuck a new bone to be up to being broken, and probably won't be the last.
Right. Now, 147 was a tough weight to make, but yet, obviously, there's some tough competition here. Do you think you could go to 140? Should you, or are you going to try to stay at 147?
We're going to think about it. We're going to go back and think about it.
There were some things that we didn't have done right that I wish we could have had done right. I think I made a big change, a big difference in the fight. We're going to go back. We're going to talk about it, try to put some people back together. I mean, I would say the odds of me being at 140, legitimately slim, but, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen still. I think, as I said, we're going to go back and talk about it. First things first, get my jaw looked at, go back and talk about it for later fights, and try rebound again.
Yeah, I mean, are you considering rebounding? I mean, because, you know, other people in your situation might say, you know what, I lost a couple and this weight didn't work out for me my first time out. Maybe I shouldn't keep going.
Yeah, but and there also are people that say, you know what, I'm going to do it again, and they come back and do it again. So
So no retirement?
Yeah. I'm going to come on back, keep on pushing. Got hit by a good shot. So I was.
What did you think of Joshua on the whole? Was he surprising to you? Is he more than you thought you were going to get?
No, not at all. I mean, I knew I had it against me. I think the one thing that surprised me was he was much faster on the outside than what I thought he was. We were going to try to come out and box him. After he outspeeded me and kept me on the end of things for the first few rounds, I was like, okay, it's time for me to get inside, to make an inside fight. And that's where I had all my success at, was on the inside.
Right, and that's what makes it exciting. We are always exciting, Chico. We love you for that. Thank you for providing yet another exciting one tonight. And all right, we're going back to Joshua. Thank you, Chico. And Joshua, what are you going to do next as far as going for a title? Because with Margarito, people are saying you could have had him perhaps if your hand had not broken. So what do you want to do as far as getting yourself a belt?
I want all the champions, everybody that get title belt on welterweight. I want to fight them, everybody. You know, right now I'm not a guy who mention people's name, but anybody who get a title in 147, I want to fight that person.
So you're going to stay at 147. There's Gary. Wishing you luck from Gary Shaw. Right on. And so you feel good. I mean, tonight, obviously, though, you came in big at 170. What was that about?
Whoa. Oh no! I wear my jeans. My everything, that's why I weigh like that, but I'm not like that.
All right, so you're like I am when I get on the scale. Let's take some of that off because of the clothes, the hair for me, Joshua. It's really what it comes down to. Well, you look terrific. And did Diego surprise you at all with anything, though? Because he's got so much heart. Were there times where you thought maybe he was out and yet bounced back?
Yeah, he did. He surprised me because he's 135 moving up to 140. He surprised me a lot, but, you know, I'm a big guy in welterweight, so definitely he's going to go down, and he's down.
All right, well, I think you helped to establish your name even more tonight. It was a terrific fight, Joshua. Congratulations to you. I know we'll be seeing more of you in the future.
Thanks for Showtime, thanks for Gary Shaw, thanks for my promoters, Top Rambo, Baron, and everybody. And I thank you people all for giving me a second chance. May God bless you all.
Absolutely. Back to you, Steve.
All right, thanks, Karen. Joshua Clottey has arrived as Diego Corrales departs. Quite symbolic there. But Clottey's on the map. A benchmark victory as Corrales graciously in defeat shakes hands with many of the fans as he heads back to the dressing room to ponder his future. But now you have to say, Al, that the man that beat Diego Corrales, Joshua Clottey, a definite force in the richly talented welterweight division and very deserving of another title shot.
Joshua Clottey's performance tonight was a bravura effort. It was superb against a man who fought fairly well. Against another welterweight, Corrales might have done better, but this man, Joshua Clottey, put his stamp on this fight, and certainly he's in a position to challenge for a welterweight title.
If it was Corrales' Waterloo, it was Clottey's watershed moment. Let's see how the scoring went for Corrales versus Clottey. First, a look at the official judges' scorecards. Jerry Griffin had it 100-87. Leo Johnson 98-89, and David Sutherland 97-90. Obviously lopsided in favor of Joshua Clottey.
I had it 98-90 for Clottey. Anywhere in that range is acceptable.
And as far as press row was concerned, Joe Kress from the Associated Press, 99-88 Clottey. Kyle Nedden Rip from the Springfield News Leader had it 99-88, and Ben Schulberg from BoxingTalk.com had it 99-88. So a severe blow in the career of Diego Corrales. Where do you think he goes from here, Al?
He has limited options. I don't think he can really get down to 140. And the problem is I don't know if he can go with the top welterweights. He has some serious thinking to do about his career if it continues.
And how about the options for Joshua Clottey, which are much brighter?
They are indeed. However, Antonio Margarito, who he lost to, is going to face Paul Williams, and he then will probably have to face the winner of Miguel Cotto and Zab Judah. So there may be a little wait unless the other champion, Kermit Cintron, can be lured into the ring against Joshua Clottey. And by the way, a Cintron-Joshua Clottey fight would be absolutely terrific.
Well, now last month on Showtime Championship Boxing, a lot of fans will recall Victor Archinian retained his flyweight belt with a one-sided win over Victor Burgos. After the fight, Burgos had surgery to remove a blood clot from his brain. According to a family spokesman, Victor Burgos was moved out of intensive care last week into a private room. He recognizes his family and friends. We're very happy to report he's speaking and has complete motion in his extremities. Doctors expect to transfer him to a San Diego rehabilitation center within the next couple of weeks. We just wanted to give you an update. A lot of folks were wondering about what happened to Victor Burgos.
Yeah, we're all very happy to hear that.
Very happy to hear that, indeed. All right, getting back to Joshua Clottey. He really didn't touch on anybody in particular, Al. You would think the most likely scenario would be the IBF champ, Kermit Cintron, because everybody else seems to be tied up right now in that division.
Yeah, as I pointed out, they're all doing things, but Kermit Cintron, and he would make a very interesting fight as we play amateur matchmaker here, and he might be the only candidate that is available to him at this juncture.
Can Diego Corrales come off the mat one more time and resurrect his career?
Rightfully, he did not, as they look at him, and clearly we'll have to see what the situation is with his jaw. He believes it's injured. The fact of the matter is, he rightfully didn't make any hasty statement right after a fight. But his dilemma is a very tricky one. I doubt he can get down to 140, and while I'm sure there are many welterweights he can beat out there, probably none in the top 5 or 6, I've got to be honest, and that is a problem for him because he doesn't know where to go from there.
All right, Al, as we wrap things up from ringside, you see the medics checking Diego Corrales back in the dressing room. Final thoughts and comments.
The final thoughts are this. You know what we saw tonight? We saw a terrific boxing match. We saw skill. We saw some of the best inside fighting you'll see. And while Joshua Clottey should get an A for his effort tonight, give Diego Corrales credit for not only fighting well, but fighting with courage as well.
All right, Al, well said. And right now, let's remind everybody of what's ahead here on Showtime. Friday, April the 20th at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. It's one of the best matchups in the 6-year history of ShoBox. Kendall Holt versus Mike Arnautis in a 12-round junior welterweight fight. And May 5th at 10:30 Eastern and Pacific, it's Showtime Championship Boxing 20 years later, a retrospective of the great fights we broadcast in 2006. That'll do it for another edition of Showtime Championship Boxing, America's Fight Night. For Al Bernstein, Karen Bryant, and our entire crew, Steve Albert saying so long from Springfield, Missouri.